into tonight's topic. If you don't know me, my name is Erdman-Luntz, and I'm a life coach and yoga educator. I've been doing both for over 25 years. It is my life's passion to help people step into their extraordinary life. That life that's deeply fulfilling, full of purpose, and vibrantly joyful for you, whatever that might be. So my work helps you do two things. One, figure out what it is you want if you don't know. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's like, well, I don't know. Let's get to it. Let's get to that thing that you really, really want in your heart of hearts. I want that thing that's so deep you may not actually even know. Although I will tell you, everyone's always known. Everyone's always known whatever it is. When they get to it, they go, yeah, I knew. It's just buried beneath years and years and years of I can't do that, I can't have that, I'm not good enough. Whatever your message is, it's buried. Then the second part of my work is to help you get there. Okay, so not only do we figure out what you want, we get the steps going. So you do something today that's going to get you into that dream life, whatever it is that you want, because it's totally possible, y'all. It's totally possible. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through my 5 steps plus 1 for living your extraordinary life. Now, I want to take you through all of these just to give you a quick overview. I am stepping into an epic summer. I am taking just a few people through this whole program. I'm so excited about it. I love teaching it. I haven't opened this program for 2.5 years. So I'm really excited. I'm going to take you through enough tonight. I tell you what we're going to do tonight is going to get you started. So even if you don't plan on doing the series with me, it is going to help you take that next step. I promise, I promise, I promise, I promise. But if you do decide, I'll be really excited. I have 2 spots for privates, and I'm doing 2 small groups of 5 people, no more than 5 people. So I would really love to have you step into this with me. Okay, y'all. So we're going to step into the 5 steps plus 1, and let me share with you that with each of these steps, I incorporate life coaching, yoga, and essential oils. Let me tell you why. As I told you before, I've been a life coach and yoga educator for over 25 years. I did them definitively separately for probably the first 10 years of my practices. And I used to say, I'm helping people get on the path of their life. In life coaching, I go through their minds to get into their hearts, and through coaching or through yoga, I go through their bodies to get into their hearts. Well, then I started realizing I was incorporating both in each of my practices, right? I was telling my life coaching clients, you know what? We need to start building your personal strength. We need to build your self-esteem. I want you to start practicing standing tall in front of the mirror, really opening up your heart. I want you to start rolling your shoulders sometimes and just feeling your heart open. Really simple stuff, but it's incorporating the physical body, right, into that mental work. That life coaching is so mental. And then I realized that in life coaching, I was coming up and I was whispering things in people's ears. I can see what's going on in people's lives by how they hold their body. One of my students said, one time she said, you know things about us, don't you, that we don't know? And I just smiled because, yeah, pretty much. I can tell. And I would whisper things in their ears. I would whisper something. I would whisper, their next step, whatever it is. I was bringing life coaching into my yoga class. So they really do meld together. When you realize we are multi-layered beings, we're not just our physical body, we're not just our minds, we're not just our emotions, we're not just our energy bodies, we are all of them, and all of these layers are beautifully woven together into this lovely tapestry. That's us. And all of our challenges, all of our successes reside on every single one of these layers, right? I mean, you can imagine in your head when you're stressed out, you're stressed out because you're thinking about things. Well, you're holding that stress in your body too, right? You're holding your shoulders up, or you're tensing your shoulders, or you're doing something to feel that tension in your body. Well, energy workers will tell you they can feel it in your energy body too. They can feel that tension. It's on all of the layers. Excuse me. So what we do is when we incorporate physicality into the mental work, I'm going to have to drink, into the mental work of life coaching, you're going to begin to transform faster. Now, the cool thing about essential oils is they begin to transform you on a cellular level. How cool is that? It is amazing how powerful this can be. Now, the reason I started doing this too is I saw my job as a life coach is to become obsolete. I want to become, so you don't need me anymore. And in fact, now I do 3-month packages. I want people to see us as a 3-month thing. I'm going to get you going. I'm going to launch you. And I'm going to set you free to go off and do your stuff. Now, often people come back for a second 3-month, third, fourth, fifth 3-month when they're ready to leap again. But my goal is to make it so that when I release you after 3 months, you keep growing. And people do. They keep growing after they've worked with me, and then they come back because they're ready for another infusion. That's fine. But I wasn't getting people just through the mind to be able to make me obsolete. They weren't able to make these transformations and hold on to them until I started incorporating the physicality behind it. So as I go through my 5 steps plus 1, I'm going to share with you all 3. I'm going to share with you life coaching tips, some yoga poses you can do. They're super beginner. Don't worry if you don't practice yoga. These are easy. If you do my program through the summer, I definitely give you yoga videos that you can do these. And then I will be sharing with you essential oils. Kind of cool, huh? Okay, so 5 steps plus 1 for living your extraordinary life. What is your extraordinary life? That is the life that's deeply fulfilling for you, whatever that might be. Okay? Now, I got to tell you, when I bring this up, I hear all sorts of stories of, it's not my time for living my extraordinary life. My kids are still home. Maybe when I retire, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, your extraordinary life is what brings you joy. I don't care what life you're living. You are already living the most extraordinary life that you can in this current state of consciousness. Oh, hi, Emily. Good. I'm so glad. Welcome. And it's my job to open up your mind and your heart to bigger, better, more amazing, because you don't even realize what you're capable of, and you are capable of so much more. So my job is to help you get kind of excited. Well, geez, you mean I could do that? I could have that. I could be a writer. I could be a blogger. I could have an amazing marriage. I could have the energy and vibrancy I've always wanted. Yes. So I call it manifesting. And for me, manifesting is consciously choosing the life you want and then taking the steps to get there. Okay? So when we work in this program, one of the first things we do is figure out what you want. And then we help you get there. All right? So let's look at all the steps. Now, the plus 1, I call it 5 steps plus 1 because there's 5 very distinct steps. And then there's a plus 1 that's a little more amorphous and it's not as crystal clear. And that is to simply feel good. Now, I know this sounds a little Pollyanna-ish. Work with me here though. When you feel good, when you're feeling good, don't you make better decisions? I want you to think about it. On a super simplistic level, when you're feeling good, meaning you've just exercised or you had a really nice hot bath or you had a great conversation with a good friend or you watched a TV show or read a book that helps you feel really good, are you more likely to make a snack that's really healthy and good for you? Yeah. Absolutely. You make better decisions when you feel good. Now, when you're exhausted and stressed out, that's when you grab the comfort food that isn't the best food for your system, right? Okay, well, when I'm talking about stepping into your extraordinary life, I'm talking about vision board amazingness. And you need to step out of your comfort zone in order to do that, right? Your comfort zone is the little box that you live in. And it contains everything that's in your current life, everything that's comfortable. Maybe it doesn't feel, well, I'm going to call it safe. It's safe because you know. It's not necessarily comfortable though, but you know it. I mean, seriously, how many of you have stayed in a relationship longer than you should have? A career, a physical body, a financial situation, just because, God, you know it, right? Why leave? I know it. You know the bad aspects to it, right? It's comfortable. When we're stepping into living our extraordinary life, what I'm asking you to do is to step out of that comfort zone and into the discomfort zone that stretches you, brings you into a bigger box. It's a really, really good thing. Okay? So, feeling good. I make all of my clients, and everyone takes this program with me, commit to a feel-good practice. It's basic self-care, but it's to help you start to feel better. And really what we're doing is raising your vibration. Because the higher your vibration goes, the better decisions you make, the better things you attract into your life. It also starts to push up your joy ceiling. We all have as good as we're really willing to feel before we start to feel uncomfortable with it. And I want to push that up. I want to make you feel better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Okay? So that's the feel good. Now, let's step into the 5 distinct steps. The first one is ask. Okay? You need to get really clear about what you want. And I call this one ask in the positive. When anyone starts working with me, the very first question you get, in fact, you get it in a questionnaire I send to you ahead of time. And yes, Lynn, excellent. Yes, we want to feel better and better and better. I'm telling you, self-care is huge. The very first question I ask all of my clients before they even start, this is the questionnaire you get ahead of time before our very first interview, is what do you really, 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 really want? 4 reallys, the 4th one is italicized. I want to know what's in your heart of hearts. Now, I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, the response is one of 2 things. A very quiet, I don't know, or a litany of everything they don't want. I'll tell you what I want. I don't want my job. I don't want my physical body. I don't want. Right? Neither really knows what they want. So when I'm talking about asking the positive, I mean, what do you want? What is it you want to create? Not asking the negative, which would be, this is what I want. I don't want this. Get clear on what you want. Super clear. And I'm talking uber clear on what you want. Now, it's kind of fun to do that, right? Once you get going, it gets to be kind of fun. You start to dream a little bit. It's like, oh, I could have that. I could have that. Well, I've always wanted to travel. We make vision boards. We do all sorts of great things. And it's really fun to do. Now, in the program, I actually have exercises to help you figure out what you want. So if you're still struggling, don't worry about it. I promise to help you through that process, to process what it is that you really want. Also know that it's, we do it over a week. You may not get to the exact thing you want in a week. You can keep changing it. You don't have to commit to it. I have changed mine a zillion times over the last 15 years when I started working on it. That's totally okay. Okay? So, what is the yoga we do with this one? Well, the yoga we do with this one, and actually for the first 3 steps, is building personal strength. Okay, I call personal strength the oomph behind manifesting, because it's that part of you you're developing that says, wait a minute, I totally deserve this. And in fact, I like to joke, you can add a little damn it on the end of that. I deserve this, damn it. And it gets you that oomph, because that's what you need to build. That's the self-esteem behind the life you want, because it's self-esteem that's kept you from it. I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough. Whatever yours are, we all have it, and everybody has it someplace in their life. Here we go again. So, we want to build personal strength. We want to build the oomph. We want to build the I deserve it. And we do that through a stand tall practice. Research has shown that if you stand slumped, heart sinking in, for a period of time, you will ultimately begin to feel depressed. So, the opposite is also true, right? You start to stand tall, you ground your feet, you extend your legs, get really strong on your own 2 feet. You're going to start feeling confident. And in fact, research has shown, they call it a power pose, when you bring your arms up and overhead, which you'll notice is in almost all of my photos, when you reach the arms up and overhead and hold for a few moments, I think it's 20 seconds, your body starts to release testosterone, which is the hormone of courage. Kind of cool, huh? Just holding your body. So I really teach standing and break it down. I break it down into tiny pieces because I want you to really get how you can stand tall and begin to cultivate the fake it till you make it, right? You fake that position but you eventually start to feel it, which is pretty cool. Now, the oil I recommend for people in this stage is called, these are all Young Living essential oils. These, I'm not going to go into this tonight. It'll be a whole nother live stream, but these are the only ones I trust. So I'm going to be sharing with you only these. Yes, that is another power pose, Emily. There's a great TED video out there. I can't remember how you search for it. I think it's power poses, but it talks about how you can hold your body to release testosterone. Okay, Northern Lights Black Spruce. Let me tell you a little bit about this oil because this is amazing. This oils take on the personality or quality of the plant they come from. The black spruce is actually grown in the tundra, so it's way up in Canada, northern Canada, where this one is grown. I was going to say built, kind of. And because it's in the tundra, the roots have to go down really deep, 14 feet to get nutrients. Now, at the same time, there's a plant. There's a single sprig that comes up from the plant that reaches for the northern lights. It absorbs the energy of the northern lights. So this oil helps you stay grounded while you reach for the stars. I think that is spectacular when you are working on building for your dreams. I love that. Okay, so that's step one, asking the positive. Step two, you gotta believe this is possible. And I'm telling you right now, if there is something you want in your life, something you've wanted for a long time and you don't have it yet, it's because somewhere inside of you there lies the belief that says, you can't have this, you don't deserve it, you're not good enough to create it, you don't have the skills to do it, whatever it is. It is a message that was implanted in our subconscious brain somewhere along the line. Maybe a peer told you, or a loved one, or someone you trusted. Maybe it's a message you heard over and over again. Maybe it's culture, maybe it's your religion. It's a belief that's been implanted, and we need to excavate it. Now, I will tell you, I share 5 different ways to release beliefs in the program. I want to share with you one tonight, okay? And that is affirmations. Now, affirmations sometimes get a bad rap that they work. They work when they're done well. So let me share with you a couple of tips to make them work well. First of all, they need to be stated in the first person singular. I am. 2 most powerful words in creation. I am whatever it is. I am experiencing vitality and energy. I am in the body of my dreams. I am in a loving relationship. I am financially free. Whatever it is, whatever your I am is. Okay? So figure that out. And I don't recommend any more than 2 or 3. Keep it simple. Keep yourself focused. Then the second part of this is to stand tall, right? I am financially free. You believe me, don't you? You do, right? If you're like, I am financially free, I don't care how many times you say it, I don't believe you. And it's not going to change anything in your subconscious brain. Okay? You've got to say them with strength. And I'll give you a super quick third tip. Look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and say it to yourself. It's really amazing. Actually, it feels incredibly awkward initially, but you're going to get used to it. And it's really powerful, okay? Just say it. Now, you also want to create vision boards, and there's a few tips around vision boards. You got to, I can't share with you everything. Do the program with me this summer, and I will share with you my tips around vision boards. It's really good stuff. Okay, so the yoga behind this is continuing to build that personal strength, right? The reason you don't believe it's possible is because you're lacking personal strength in that area. Everybody has their area where they lack, so it's not a place to feel badly about. I don't care if you're Bill Gates or Mother Teresa or Gandhi. Everyone has a spot in their life where they lack belief. Okay, so this is what we need to work on. The oil for this, believe it or not, is believe. Yes, it begins to reprogram stuff in there, and it smells. I love the aroma of this one. A lot of people use this as perfume. This is one that I put on every single day. Douse myself with this one. All right, step 3, okay? You've asked for what you want. We know what you want. You believe it's possible. Now you're going to be taking action. Now, let me point out, we're really not taking action till step 4 when you think about it, right? Because I actually made you feel good, Started to feel good. In fact, you do this for a whole week before we go to the next step. The next step is you have to figure out what you want. You start getting excited. It's like, holy cow, this is really cool. And the third step is, and I think it might actually happen. I believe it's possible. Now we take action. The number one mistake people make, this is in my experience, when they set an intention, they say, all right, I want to do this. I'm so excited. They leap right into action without doing the first steps. Okay? The first step sets you up for success. I am telling you, it is like it's like a slingshot. They give you all this potential energy. You know how you pull back on a slingshot and it gives you potential energy? So when you let go, you sail forward. And you need that because the status quo is alluring. Okay, the status quo, people want to pull you back. Not people, well, sometimes people, but also you, right? How many times have you set a New Year's resolution only to fall back into the old way? It's like you're stuck to it with bungee cords. And the farther we can sail when we get going, the better. So when you are feeling good, you're getting excited about what you want, and you actually believe it's possible, then it's time to take action. Okay? Now, the part about action is to take right action. Okay, I borrowed from a little Buddhism there. And what I'm talking about with right action is there's people lie on two sides of the spectrum. People who don't even bother starting. Why bother? It's not going to happen. Whatever. And then on the other side where they are so busy taking action and keeping themselves busy, and they would swear they're productive, but they're not actually doing anything that's actually taking them forward. Okay? They're not being productive. This is the scrolling through Facebook. You're in front of the computer, so you feel like you're working, but all you're doing is scrolling through Facebook. You're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing to take your business, your life, whatever, further. So be honest with yourself. And at this stage, this is usually the right action we need to take is a little scary, and that's why we avoid it. So there's a few things that we can do to help with that, but I will share with you two. The first one is back bends. So taking it to the yoga mat. Back bends, really gentle ones, help stimulate your adrenals, which adrenals are your glands that release the stress hormones. So you get this really gentle release of adrenaline, and that gives you that oomph to get over that hesitation to do that, take that action. And there's actually another pose that is the quintessential getting over your fear pose, and I'll share it with you if you take the program. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to tease you and tempt you a little bit, because what I really want is for you to jump in and take the program and have an epic summer with me, because I'm really excited about it. Now, the oil I choose for this one is Valor. Now, Valor, Young Living is famous for Valor. Valor helps build courage and confidence, and I'm telling you, I have used it. It smells really good. Specifically for that on 3 different occasions. I committed to using it every single day for 30 days, and I totally took action on things, right, Emily? On things that I needed. It was amazing. Okay, guys, step 4, we have 2 more steps. Step 4 is a 2-parter. I like to see it as 2 sides of the same coin. They're very similar, but they're slightly different. So let's look at both. It's letting go to surrender and receiving. So let's look at letting go to surrender. Letting go, there's a few different parts to letting go. One of the things you need to let go of is your expectation. And I know that sounds kind of funny because you're like, wait a minute, Laura, you told me to figure out what I want and go for it. That's my expectation. But here's the thing. We often have to have a plan. We have to have it totally planned out, piece by piece by piece by piece, and have it like see the whole staircase. And here's the thing. Often along the way, we actually get something even better, right? That comes along, and we would totally miss it if we were fixated on what we thought was the best way. Right? And the same goes for your end goal. Your end goal might be, this is what I really want, but what if something better comes along and you've missed it because you were tunnel visioning, you were like blinders on? right? The other piece of this is you have to let go of old things that are holding you back. Okay, you've got, and I did a live stream on this, I think yesterday, maybe the day before. Letting go of old behaviors, old habits, sometimes relationships. You gotta release some relationships that are dragging you down. These are the bungee cords that are keeping you stuck in the status quo. Okay, I like to tell people, make decisions based on where you're going, not where you've been, right? So what decision would that person make? The person you're becoming. And realize that's who you really are. You're not really becoming someone new. You're just letting go of the layers that aren't you anymore. And sometimes those layers are represented in a relationship or in a behavior or a habit or a belief, and you gotta let them go, right? And that allows you to surrender, to be like open, full of faith that this is going to happen. Okay, so that, and Emily, I see your question about valor. I personally put it on my feet to sleep. It helps me sleep and I build the strength. And then I put it on my feet in the morning. So night and morning. What I do actually is I have a massage oil by my bed. So a little dropper with, I think I have fractionated coconut oil in it. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. Just a carrier with a few drops of valor, and I massage my feet in the morning and at night. It feels really good. It's a nice little self-care. Feel good. Little extra plug-in for that feel-good practice of your own. Now, there are a couple oils I want to share with you around letting go. The first one is sort of the obvious one, if you will. There's an oil blend called Release. I know it's backwards for you guys. I still feel like I should show you. Yeah, Emily, definitely try it. It's amazing. This one smells really good. This one actually helps you release tags on your DNA. So we have beliefs. If we've held beliefs a long time, it tags itself on your DNA. This lets it go. Now, I will tell you what my experience is with this oil. I have lots of different ways to help you release beliefs that I will share with you, as I mentioned, in the program. And there are times when I can still feel it's like it's still holding on. And then that's usually when I remember, oh, that's right, I have an oil for that. And I pull it out and I just smell it. And usually within 2 sniffs, I've let it go. Like, I can release it. It's really amazing. The other oil I recommend for this stage is forgiveness, because I will tell you a lot of what we need to let go of is forgiveness of ourselves. Things that we've screwed up on, that we're holding on to, and it's keeping us stuck. Sometimes it's forgiveness of others, but I find more times than not, it's forgiveness of ourselves. Okay. Oh, letting go. Yoga. Forgot to mention. Twists. Keep in mind that whenever you have angst over anything, you're holding it in your body. Actually, you're holding joy in your body too. We hold emotions that we haven't fully processed in our tissues. That's why we occasionally experience extreme joy or tears or laughter at weird times, like in yoga or during a massage. It's because it's literally releasing it from the tissues where it's stored. So I love to do twists, and I do them, seriously, just gentle twists. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but a gentle twist can help you begin to let go of what you're holding on to, especially when you set the intention. I'm doing this twist to let go of whatever I'm holding on to. You may know specifically what it is, or you might just be able to throw out there, look, whatever it is that's holding me back, I'm letting it go. Okay? Twists are very powerful for this practice. Okay, so step 4, second part. I said it was letting go to surrender and receiving. Y'all, receiving? Can I just say, can we just be honest here for a second? Most of us really suck at receiving. I'm just saying. We're not good at it. Think about how you feel when someone gives you a gift and you don't have one in return. Do you feel weird? Do you feel like you owe them? And I want you to be honest with yourself. You don't have to post anything. Just be honest with yourself. You can if you want, but you don't have to post anything. Most of us feel awkward. Compliments. Do you receive them fully? Or do you push them off? Thank you. Gratitude. Do you push them off? For years, when someone would say thank you for a yoga class, I would say, oh, it's nothing, as I turned. And one day I caught myself and I said, wow, I'm pushing that off, which isn't kind to that person. Because I didn't receive it, they didn't really get to feel and experience the joy of giving because I didn't receive. There was nobody there. So I started practicing. And with my students who know me and love me, when I would catch myself, I would turn to them and say, I'm learning how to receive. Can you do that again? Can you say that again? And of course they did it. And it took me a few weeks. First few times, literally, I got hard. Here's the thing, I'm hardening my energy body. This doesn't allow new things to come to you, right? This is what you're not receiving. I had to relax. I had to open and say, just one more time, say it again, relax. It took me a long time. But then I started to breathe it in. They would say, thank you. And I got to a point where I could feel it in my cells. I would bring it in and I would say, you are so welcome. It was my pleasure. Think about how well you receive. Because if you can't receive the little things, there ain't no way you're going to receive the big ones. The things you really, really, really want. And you got to build your tenacity up. Okay? Build that up. Now, there is an oil for that. It's called acceptance. How beautiful is that, right? Acceptance. Accepting things in. I thought it was accepting things in your life, like accepting, like surrender, but it's not. It's totally not. There's actually surrender oil too. I couldn't get all the oils. Y'all, there are so many different blends you can use for all these different things. I just tried to pick one or two to keep it simple for y'all. But acceptance, absolutely. And there's yoga we can do. It's heart opening. It's softening into heart opening yoga. And I teach restorative yoga for this, where you just absorb. It's lovely. Okay? All right, we're almost done cruising through. I'm sorry I made this a little longer than I meant to. The fifth step, and you know what? I'm going to say arguably the most important, because I know they're all important, but the fifth one is so huge, and that is gratitude. The biggest misconception about manifesting is I'll be happy when. Y'all, law of attraction does not work that way. It works when I am happy now and I am so excited for more. Okay? And that more is an even more authentic life for you. It's where you're shedding the things that don't feel good anymore for you, whether it's relationships or your job or your financial situation or whatever. When we're not in our authentic life, it is like we are wearing clothes that don't fit us, that we're wearing the wrong style. And as we step into our extraordinary life, we're wearing the right thing. And the other thing is you like who you are when you're living it. It's a beautiful thing. So we have to work on gratitude. We need to work on finding what you are grateful for in your life. What is working? There is so much that's going well that you don't notice sometimes because the part that's not going well is so noisy, it's taking up all your attention. So we want to put our attention on what is working well. And even in the area where it's not working great, I tell people you've got to figure out what is working great, right? So you're not in the financial situation you want. Do you have enough money to pay your mortgage? Feel grateful for that. Now, there is yoga we can do. Forward folds are all about gratitude, right? Bowing the head. And it also brings you into this soft, present moment. It's a beautiful thing. And there's an oil for that. Guess what it's called? Gratitude. You betcha. And this one helps you soften to that moment too. So we use this oil along with the forward folds, and it's incredibly potent. All right, y'all. 5 steps plus 1 for living your extraordinary life. I like to say it's 5 steps plus 1 to say yes to life. This is what it's about. It's about embracing life. It's about grabbing it with both reins. Don't wait another day. Your extraordinary life is there, and it's time for you to step into it. It feels so good when you're in it. Now, if you want to join me I have the link here for the summer program. I'm going to work with people for 3 months. I have 2 spots for people to work with me privately, and then I'm doing 2 groups of no more than 5. You're welcome, Lynn. And you can feel free to join me for either of those. You can also do it private study. So the link is lauraerdman-luntz.com/epic summer. If you are ready and you are like, this is the summer it all changes, it's going down this summer, join me, because I'm going to personally walk you through it. I am so excited about it, and I can't wait to help you. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about the 5 steps, you can grab the workbook that I've been taking people through on live streams on my Facebook page, muselaura.com, facebook.com/Laura Erdman-Luntz, or it's also muselaura.com. That's my page. Anyway, this is at lauraerdman-luntz.com/dream life. So you can pick up the workbook if you'd like, and then you can read. It's definitely more of an ebook kind of thing. So you can read about each of the steps, learn more about it, and then choose to join me, because I would love to have you. It would be amazing to spend the summer with you. And if you're ready for this summer to be epic for you, and ready for this to be that pivotal moment when you say the trajectory of my life changed, then it's time for you to join me. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. If nothing else, please at least go out to my Muse Laura Erdman-Luntz and like the page. Hang out with me there. I do lots there. You're welcome, Emily. I'm so glad you're ready for this. I know I am too. Have a great night, everybody. Keep joining me. I'm going to keep live streaming. I'm doing lots of this. It feels really good. It's really fun, and I love sharing it with you all. Have a great night. Thanks for joining me, and may you be inspired to live your extraordinary life.